Hi kids! Hi! Tonight, I will present to you a top 5 to understand the mind of one famous person.
Hooray!
His name was Charles Manson.
Ah!
And he was a very, very bad and crazy person. So, with no further ado, please welcome Bloody the dog and enjoy the talk. Bye! Bye! He claimed he never murdered anyone. And that's a fact. He personally never killed anyone. But however, somehow, he found a way to brainwash and took advantage of a group of young and confused people to commit the horrible crimes for him. And under the law, that's murder too.
What do you want to call me a murderer for? I've never killed anyone. I don't need to kill anyone. I think it. I have it here. I don't need to live in this physical realm. I walk around in the physical realm, and I put on the faces, and I talk, and I play, and it's this big act, man. In the spiritual world is where I live. I exist in places you never even dreamed of.
No, reality is they did what they did. They're responsible for their own actions. I'm responsible for my actions.
You won't face the fact that there's a holy war moving upon the planet Earth. You couldn't see the blood splattered all over the walls. Now you say you want to blame one guy for it. I seen it. I witnessed it go by. I seen the children, what they were trying to do, and I was sympathetic with them. But you might say I'm a devil in this respect, that I never broke will or entered into anyone's circle with breaking will in any respect whatsoever. I just watched this flow downstream. What crimes? I told you I haven't committed any crimes. I don't break laws. There's no need to break a law. Why should I break the law? I'm in God's will. Do you feel guilty? Do you feel guilty for the thousands and millions of Indians that you destroyed? Do you feel guilty for the gas chambers where you've killed the Jews? Do you feel guilty for timeless, endless, how far can you go back and say guilty of what? Guilty of what? There's no need to be guilty. Then you're going to make me suffer till I say, okay, now I feel guilty. And then you feel secure now that I feel guilty? Was that going to make you feel better if I feel guilty? Guilty. I wouldn't do anything that I felt guilty about. Someone comes to me and says, we're going to kill so-and-so. I'll tell them, oh, what do you think about that? No, I don't think about it. I'm not mad at him. I don't even know it. They said, well, we're going to get him. I said, well, what do you want me to do? He said, you want to come with us and help us? I said, nope. I'm not breaking no laws this time. I'm not breaking no laws this time. Can't that come into your brain? I did not break the law. Jesus Christ told you that 2,000 years ago. You don't understand me. That's your trouble.
How do we do it? I don't know. I don't want to be involved in it. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. In Japan, they call it ninja. I don't get involved in violence. I'm not a violent human being.
Did you tell the women to do their witchy things?
I said, if you're gonna do something, leave something witchy. Just like I would tell you, if you're gonna do something, do it well. And leave something witchy. Leave a sign to let the world know that you were there. Have a good day.
Are you guilty of any murders? Are you guilty of plotting any murders?
I killed a chicken once.
Any human being?
No.
You're absolutely innocent of any conspiracy to commit murder or telling anyone to commit murder or planning it?
I'll plead guilty to the Indians.
Because I know what I did. I don't break laws. I make laws. I'm the lawmaker. I'm the one that laid the track down. They drive the train. I lay the track. I make the laws. If I take this chair and I knock that light down, I'll make a whole new procedure with it. Yeah. I make the laws from here. This is me. Nixon was only playing. That's me.
He also had a big social resentment. And every time he had the opportunity, he talked about how hard and complicated his childhood was, and how bad the world has treated him. And you can see how much he hated the world in the last sentence of this point.
Remorse for what? You people have done everything in the world to me. Doesn't that give me equal right? I can do anything I want to you people at any time I want to, because that's what you've done to me. If you spit in my face and smack me in the mouth and throw me in solitary confinement for nothing, what do you think's going to happen when I get out of here? What do you think's going to happen to you? The things that you create in here. Nobody gave me nothing. Everything I got, I had to bite for it and scratch for it. So it's the same principle when it comes down to surviving. If me and you are on the street, you're the strong one. You're the one with the power. It's just a bunch of intelligent people trying to put some order into their existence. They're trying to get out from underneath what their parents left them. They're trying to get unlocked from the Second World War. They're trying to get out from the burning monk that's in the street burning himself to death because there's something's not right, something's off balance. Did you ever take it back upon yourself to say that you're responsible for Helter Skelter? Did Jerry Rubin and A.B. Hoffman and Dr. Timothy Leary take any responsibility for the children that they said that I influenced? You know, you want to drop the blame on Charlie and say it's all Charlie's fault. Murderer. That's the damnedest thing in the world, murderer. When you go to the abortion clinics, is that murder? When you take a man's life a day at a time in a cage, do you feel guilty about that? All these kids you got locked up in these cages over here, do you feel guilty about it? Do you feel guilty? You feel like your money's got blood on it? When you take in your news media and you lead a whole wave of children into gangbusters, and you lead them into Rambos and combats, and they all go off and they go off in some crazy, let me take you down to strawberry fields. Bottom line is this, you guys are going to have to take responsibility for some of this yourself. Take it off of me, put it where it belongs. Make sense?
Listen.
I never had any followers. I had a lot of friends. They weren't followers. They were friends. They were people that we sat down and we were honest with. We smoked grass and we sat in a circle and looked at candles. You know, there was no followers. There was no leaders.
I played as much nice guy as they could deal with. And I held the line of nice guy. And I looked out for everybody, and I gave them places to stay, and I kept all the other not-so-nice guys off of them.
I hear so.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because I like the kids, because I can identify with the kids, because they didn't have nobody like I didn't have nobody.
Right.
So I kind of identify with that balance stick. So they come by, and we sing songs, and we were all singing together.
In my whole life, I burglarized a grocery store, stole some nickels and dimes, busted open a stamp machine, stole a few automobiles, and cashed a couple checks. I'm a petty car thief. I've been with prostitutes and bums and winos and all my life. The street is my world. I don't pretend to go uptown and be anything fancy. I can, but I find more real in the world that I'm in than I do the tinsel. And the real world is the one I have to deal with every day, you know. Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
My children are coming, and you are creating a legend. He somehow knew that all the attention that the media was giving to him was going to have a repercussion in the future, and that a whole army of criminals were going to emerge from darkness, seeking for fame and recognition.
My children are coming. I told you 20 years ago. I told the judge, can't you see what you're doing here? He didn't care. Nobody cared. Only a handful of children cared. They cared enough to give their all.
Now, how the hell am I going to control 35 women in 2 years?
Beats me, man.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? In other words, the guys you're trying to make me into is impossible. What you're doing is you're creating a legend, you're creating a beast, you're creating whatever you are judging yourselves with into the word Manson. And that's not me at all. I wasn't a generation of the 60s. I'm a Bing Crosby fan, not a Beatle fan. You guys make me into be something I wasn't. I never had a beard or long hair in my life. I was a beatnik, not a hippie.
You're not a beast, Charlie. You are a beast.
See? I'm whatever you need me to be for you. And whatever you make me is what you'll carry the rest of your life and forever.
If you knew what the hell was going on in your own system, then you'd say, now I see what's creating this. Society's creating it. Society's saying, we want these Rambos. We want these killers. Oh, wow, man. Look at that dude there. And you got little kids looking in the book, and where they selling in it. Oh, yeah, Sears and Roebuck. Rambo from 12 to 15. Kai Karate from age 5 to 17. Then you got all your kids out here doing these crazy things. Now you want to come and say, Charlie Manson's the father of our country. We're convicting you for being Jesus Christ. We're convicting you for being the devil. We're convicting you for being responsible for our actions. I'm not responsible for anyone's actions but my own actions.
You dig what I'm saying? Crime factories are buying and selling crime.
What is a crime factory?
The crime factory is this fucking thing here. This is a crime. This is where we create our crime. This is a crime factory for jobs and profit. We can stop the crime.
How?
By stop buying and selling it. If as long as we're selling it, it's going to be there. So you read a newspaper and you look on TV and then you come and you see me and you want to call me what they told you. And you know that 99% of that newspaper is for money, not the truth.
Everyone says, we know what you were doing with all those women. I said, no, you know what you would have been doing with all those women, and you think that's what I would be doing with all those women because that's what you need to think. Now,
well, when you take it, you put up an image, you put this image up, and you say, here, kids, don't be like that. Don't take them red pills, kids. They didn't know there was red pills until you said, no, you can say no. You can say no. You can't say no. I didn't know I could say yes. In other words, you're projecting the thought.
That's not a bad point.
You're projecting the thought. When the DA jumps up and says, hey, this guy did so and so and so forth, and he's booby bob, and that's what that makes me into. That's not what I am, man. That's not me. That's what these fucking ignorant assholes need me to be. He needs me to be violent because he needs his ass kicked. He's begging somebody to kill him. So he needs me to be a killer because he wants to die and go to heaven and be with Jesus.
The mark on his forehead. Well, there's too many theories about it, and he even gave different answers. But the theory that makes more sense is that he marked himself with the archetypal symbol of evil, the one that lives in the collective unconscious as the symbol of evil, because somehow American pop culture made him the symbol of evil.
It stands for whatever I mean it to stand for, and whatever I make it stand for, and whatever I want it to stand for.
But you didn't one time say you were Xing yourself out?
No, that was your newspapers that gave you that.
What does it stand for you?
It stands for many things. It would take 2 or 3 weeks to explain all the things that I've built.
Can you give me an example?
The image. Certainly, I can give you an example of the United States flag of America.
The swastika.
The rising sun in the German and the Japanese flag. The Star of David to the Israelis. Whatever country or nation or people or cause has always had a symbol.
And that's your symbol?
That's mine. I put that there from 2 or 3 other symbols. I didn't want to put a Christian symbol, and I didn't want to put an Antichrist symbol, and I didn't want to put a pro-communism, and I didn't want to put an anti-thermoslacker-flop-dops and all that kind of stuff that you play.
But it is a swastika. That would be Germany, wouldn't it?
No, that's not a Nazi. Hitler got that sign from mysticism and reversed it. He did the same thing, only he did it backwards. You know, it's the thought still here, just like the thought that he picked up was there when he picked it up. The thought has always been here. since the pyramids have been here, since David and the giant, since the whole thing's always been here. And every once in a while, there's a guy like Magandhi that comes and picks it up. Or there's a guy like Paharasha Yogananda, or somebody coming out of some prison, or somebody doing something, and they pick it up for a while, and they carry it a few steps, and then when they're gone, you say, oh, what a good guy he was. But while he's here, he's always just no good at all, you know.
Charles Manson was ratings. He knew he was a product, almost a brand, because media used him to sell. So he was comfortable with that, and he played his role as the big star he thought he was. It sold a big act. His biggest dream always was to be famous, but he was untalented. So when he was captured, he may realize that that was his moment to shine and not to be just one more criminal. So, if you ever wonder why he acted so crazy, maybe this point will give you the answer.
And I put on the faces and I talk and I play and hang, yeah, it's this big act, man. In the spiritual world is where I live. I exist in places you never even dreamed of. You talk about, you know, this little physical realm you live in, guilty and is he in sin? How's your courts guilty? How many people do you think you've hung on the ventilators in the nut wards and forced medication on them? You see what I'm saying? You don't have any idea what the hell's going on.
Excuse me. Hold on. Charlie, they probably want to get their picture taken with you.
Let me look serious.
Are you going to look serious? It is, you can get it.
Yeah. Are you taking one for publicity?
I'm trying to, yeah. I mean, hopefully one of these will work. Yeah, get one with Diane.
Let me get out of there.
So we could do
Let's see. Yeah, well, like so.
That's fine. If you're so close,
you probably
that'll
need
be
to
distorted.
Over here.
You from Kentucky, huh? What part?
Was born in the South, near Tennessee, and grew up in Louisville.
Here we go. 1, 2.
My uncle Wormy died in Louisville,
Just take a couple.
trying to save the atmosphere when the Tennessee Valley Authority came in. We started CC camps back there. My grandfather started CC camps before the Second World War. And then when the Second World War came along, they forgot the CC camps. Now when you introduced Red, when you talked to Red, Red started the CC camp back. I'm telling you, those children did right. It's just sad that there wasn't more of them. The world's coming to an end.
You were born in Ohio, right?
Your atmosphere is dying. My mother ran off from Ashland, Kentucky, and went to Ohio.
Oh, sorry, did I put my hand on That's okay. Click,
you know, everybody likes this
everybody
evil.
wants a picture of you.
Everybody likes that evil character they created. You know that guy with the eyes.
Who's got mine? It's done.
You gotta realize, man, all them guys you've been creating are not really real in real life, man. All right.
Hold on, just 1 second.
Don't forget me on those pictures, gentlemen.
Just one. Little one.
You want him standing or sitting?
That's fine. That's fine. Thanks.
And let me give you all another thing, will you please?
Yeah.
Everybody says I'm 5'2". When I was arrested, I was 5'7". Then I went down to 5'6". Then I went down to 5 foot. Then I went to 4 feet. Now I'm down to 5'2". Pretty soon I'll be 5 feet. By the time that you all die, I'll be about 3 feet tall.
So how tall are you, Charlie?
5'6".
Okay.
And 3/4.
Charlie, you were real nice. Thank you.
So kids, tonight we'll learn why Charles Manson was the way he was, and why he became the biggest name in crime history. But don't be like him, cause even if the world talked about him, he rotted in jail till the day he died. That's all for tonight, friends. See you next time. Please subscribe, like, and share. Bye!